In the late twilight of the Cold War, when nations raced to perfect advanced war weapons, when every rotor, every missile, every airframe carried the weight of global military power, Russia unveiled a machine forged from the anxieties of a divided world. They called it the Mi-28 Havoc, a combat helicopter designed not as a symbol of intimidation, but as a battlefield strategy, a war doctrine, a response to the rise of modern warfare and the dominance of Western fighter jets, drones, and precision-guided defense systems. The Mi-28 Havoc was never just another helicopter. It was Russia's answer to a question the world kept asking: what aircraft could survive the next generation of warfare? A machine built to hunt tanks, fortifications, armored vehicles. A hunter meant to operate in the deadliest environments: night raids, urban combat, desert ambushes, dense forests where radar struggled and missiles screamed through the dark. As the Iron Curtain fell and war doctrines fractured, the Havoc remained, silent, waiting, becoming not merely an aircraft, but a message to the world: Russia's commitment to military technology, resilience, and the ruthless evolution of future war machines. This is the untold story of the Mi-28 Havoc, a Cold War creation surviving a 21st century battlefield. The story of the Mi-28 Havoc begins in the early 1980s, deep inside the design halls of the MIL Moscow helicopter plant, where engineers, pressured by shifting war history and global tensions, sought to build an attack helicopter capable of outmatching NATO's emerging war machines. The Americans had unveiled the AH-64 Apache, a symbol of technological supremacy. The Soviets needed an answer, not a copy, but a rival built around brute force, raw armor, and devastating firepower. The Mi-28 Havoc was sculpted from this urgency. Its heavy armor, its round, intimidating profile, its tandem cockpit and fearsome weapon payload were designed not for elegance, but survival. Survival in a world preparing for the unthinkable: large-scale armored warfare across Europe. The Cold War might have ended, but the Havoc was not abandoned. Instead, it became a key pillar of modern warfare philosophy, showing that advanced war weapons could still be shaped by old fears, old rivalries, and evolving battlefield strategy. The Mi-28 Havoc became one of the most heavily armored helicopters of its era, not designed to dance through the sky like Western attack helicopters, but to endure, absorbing machine gun bursts, shrapnel, and direct hits that would cripple lighter aircraft. Its cockpit, a bullet-resistant cocoon, reflected a Soviet philosophy: protection is survival, survival is firepower. In a battlefield saturated with missiles, drones, and precision weapons, armor became the Havoc's shield, its defining advantage in frontline combat operations. Behind every movement of the Mi-28 Havoc lies its beating heart: two Klimov engines powering the rotor system, enabling the helicopter to climb fast, maneuver low, and strike targets with precision. During its early development, Soviet engineers believed future war machines would rely on raw lift and brute thrust more than stealth or electronic warfare. Power meant survival. Power meant dominance. Today, those engines give the Havoc a presence on the battlefield, a thundering growl recognized by soldiers long before the helicopter comes into view. Night operations, once the most dangerous phase of warfare, became the Mi-28's domain. With a powerful thermal imaging system, laser rangefinders, and onboard sensors, the Havoc transformed into an airborne predator capable of hunting tanks in complete darkness. Early NATO commanders feared the emergence of a helicopter that could operate like a modern mechanical beast in near-zero light. Night warfare reshaped battlefield strategy, and the Mi-28 Havoc was built for that new era, where battles aren't fought at sunrise, but in shadows. In a world where armored warfare evolved at lightning speed, the Mi-28 Havoc was sculpted to deliver overwhelming firepower. Its weapons were not just tools, they were a statement of battlefield dominance. A 30mm Shupanov cannon that could shred armored vehicles. Anti-tank guided missiles capable of punching through reinforced steel. Rockets designed for urban destruction. The Havoc wasn't built to support, it was built to annihilate. This was Russia's philosophy in modern warfare. Unleash a platform that could fight tanks, infantry, fortifications, drones, and hardened bunkers using the same ruthless precision that defined advanced war weapons of the post-Cold War era. Every rocket, every missile, every burst of cannon fire demonstrated a design deeply rooted in Cold War legacy but adapted to the chaos of current combat operations. In the hands of a skilled pilot, the Mi-28 Havoc became a symphony of destruction, a machine with one purpose: to dominate the battlefield.
War has one constant: nothing goes as planned. On the battlefield, drones swarm, missiles streak across the sky, and air defense systems evolve faster than doctrines. For the Mi-28 Havoc, survivability was a religion. Engineers wrapped this machine in layers of armor, shock-resistant systems, redundant hydraulics, and crash-proof landing gear. It wasn't designed to escape danger, it was built to endure it. And that is what separated the Mi-28 from faster, sleeker Western attack helicopters. It was a brawler, a frontline war machine meant to survive catastrophic damage and still return home. In an age defined by advanced war weapons and AI-guided threats, the Havoc continues to prove that strength, armor, and rugged engineering still have a place in modern warfare.
The Mi-28 Havoc didn't emerge from thin air. It was the evolutionary successor to the legendary Mi-24 Hind, a hybrid troop transport and gunship that defined Soviet air power. But as global military power shifted and battlefield strategy changed, the Hind's dual-role design no longer fit the requirements of future war machines. The Soviet Union needed something pure, an attack helicopter built exclusively for destruction. The Mi-28 became that answer. Faster than the Hind, more maneuverable, better armored, designed around a philosophy of single-purpose lethality. If the Hind was the symbol of Soviet-era aggression, the Havoc became the symbol of precision, focus, and modern warfare. Inside the Mi-28 Havoc, technology weaves with battlefield instincts. The cockpit is a digital command center, dual controls, multifunction displays, night vision compatibility, secure communication links. Pilots trained on Soviet analog systems found themselves facing a new world: digital warfare. This cockpit represents the transition from Cold War mechanics to 21st century military technology. Screens replaced gauges, sensors replaced guesswork, data replaced intuition. The Havoc became more than a helicopter. It became a node in Russia's expanding defense systems network, connected to ground units, radar stations, and armored battalions. During the Cold War, the greatest fear of NATO strategists wasn't nuclear missiles. It was the Soviet tank armies rolling across Europe. The Mi-28 Havoc was created as the tank hunter of the future. A helicopter built to break armored spearheads, disrupt mechanized columns, and annihilate massed formations before they reached the front lines. This role carried into modern warfare. In conflicts where tanks remain symbols of global military power, the Havoc's ability to identify, track, and destroy armor continues to shape battlefield strategy.
The Mi-28 Havoc thrives where radar falters, just meters above the ground. Flying low, fast, and unpredictable, it takes advantage of terrain masking, turning hills, forests, and valleys into protective shields. In a world dominated by fighter jets and drones, the low-altitude attack helicopter carved its own role, a silent predator that slips beneath detection. This style of warfare, dangerous, precise, unforgiving,
became a hallmark of Russian helicopter tactics. In modern warfare, the battlefield is saturated with electronic noise, jammers, spoofers, digital attacks. The Mi-28 Havoc was engineered to resist electronic warfare interference. Shielded wiring, hardened avionics, and redundant communication paths protect it from disruption. Russia understood early that the next battles would not only be kinetic, they would be electronic. The Havoc became one of the earliest Russian helicopters designed with that philosophy in mind. Modern conflict rarely plays out in open fields. Cities have become battlegrounds, dense, chaotic, unpredictable. The Mi-28 Havoc evolved to survive here too. Its rotating cannon turret, tight turning radius, and advanced sensors allow it to operate between buildings and concealed threats. Urban warfare is brutal. Every rooftop can hide missiles. Every alley can be a kill zone. But the Havoc's armor and firepower give it the confidence to press forward, making it a decisive force in close-quarters combat operations. The Mi-28 Havoc and AH-64 Apache represent two philosophies from opposite sides of the Cold War. The Apache favored advanced electronics, stealthy profiles, and Western precision doctrine. The Havoc embraced armor, brute power, and sheer battlefield endurance. Their rivalry continues to fuel debates across military technology circles. Which helicopter dominates modern warfare? Which design philosophy wins, speed and sensors or armor and resilience? Both machines shaped global military power. Both defined eras of advanced war weapons. But each represents a different soul of aerial combat. From desert operations to mountainous terrain, the Mi-28 Havoc entered real combat theaters, testing its design under brutal conditions. Conflicts exposed its strengths: armor, firepower, rugged endurance. Pilots praised its survivability. Mechanics valued its simplicity. Commanders recognized its role in shaping battlefield strategy. Combat is the ultimate truth-teller, and the Havoc proved its worth. Whether in freezing Siberian winters or scorching Middle Eastern deserts, the Mi-28 Havoc demonstrated resilience to extreme environments. This reliability is a direct inheritance from Soviet engineering doctrine. Machines must survive the world, not demand perfect conditions. Dust storms, snowstorms, crosswinds, none of it stops the Havoc. And that ruggedness continues to define its role in global defense systems today. The Mi-28 Havoc influenced foreign militaries, reshaped air attack philosophies, and strengthened Russia's position in global military power markets. Nations seeking rugged, survivable helicopters looked toward this machine, a warbird born from Cold War tension, matured by modern conflicts. Its presence on the global stage represents more than a purchase. It represents a shift in how countries perceive battlefield strategy. The future demanded evolution. Russia responded with the Mi-28NM, a modernized powerhouse featuring advanced sensors, an improved radar dome, upgraded engines, digital battlefield connectivity, and compatibility with next-generation missiles. This variant bridges the past and future, Cold War roots with future war machines. The Havoc legacy continues, refined and sharpened for 21st century combat. The Mi-28 Havoc symbolizes more than rotor blades and armor. It represents a philosophy, the belief that even in an era of drones, stealth jets, and AI-driven warfare, there will always be a need for a close-range, armored, relentless attack helicopter. Its existence asks a deeper question. Is raw survivability still the king of battlefield strategy? Or will drones and remote systems eventually replace the human-led air assault? The answer, for now, remains uncertain, but the Havoc continues to fly. The Mi-28 Havoc was born from fear, raised through conflict, and hardened by decades of evolving warfare. It is a reminder that military technology is not just machinery. It is the story of nations, strategies, and survival. From Cold War skies to modern battlegrounds, the Havoc remains a warrior, a machine designed to endure, to strike, to outlast the chaos of war. As the world shifts into an era of drones, hypersonic missiles, and autonomous systems, one question lingers over the battlefield. In a future shaped by technology, will machines like the Mi-28 Havoc still define air power? Or will it become the last of its kind? The sky will answer. History will remember.